Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's discussion of the movie A Quiet Place. What makes The Quiet Place a rather interesting movie is kind of like how for a movie that was only, filmed for like a 17 million production budget, um, it became a box office success, grossing over, 50 million, which has, been good news for Paramount considering for like almost like the last 2 years they've had a bunch of box office disappointments. So I guess in a sense, it's a good thing for them. So what could I say about The Quiet Place that would be interesting? What makes the movie Quiet Place rather interesting, it's kind of like how the movie is mostly without dialogue, and the reason that is because the alien creatures in this movie, hunt based on sound, and if they hear you like, screaming and I guess talking, loud or other particular sounds, they hunt you down, they kill you. And in a sense, it kind of reminds me of the slogan from the first alien movie in space. No one hears you screaming. And then of course the third alien movie used the slogan on Earth, everyone hears you scream. So it's kind of like you know combined element of the first and the third Alien slogan. That's just my particular take on it. The story focuses on Lee and Evelyn Abbott, played by real life, married couple John Krasinski, who's famously known for his work on The Office, and Emily Blunt, who of course will be taking over the reins of the Mary Poppins, sequel later this year, and of course known for other work in The Devil Wears Prada. And they have three children, Reagan, Marcus, and Bo. Unfortunately, the youngest one, Bo, fortunately falls victim in the beginning of the movie because of, something to do with, of course, with sound, but I don't want to give too much of that away. So basically, they kind of have to use, sign language in order to survive and, not, wearing any footwear to, I guess, detract from making, too much noise and things like that. And in a sense, that's what makes the film, rather interesting. Like how it goes more based on like the emotional, aspect and the fear, feeling the fear and the terror, and always having to survive in silence. Out of worrying about that if you make the slightest noise, those creatures will hunt you down and things like that. So that's pretty, eerie. I mean, would I say the movie was the greatest horror movie I've seen? Not really, only because it kind of feels like something I've already seen, before with all other previous Alien movies. But I will commend the film, for trying to do something, different, within the horror, genre. And it does a pretty decent job with it. And of course, the daughter Reagan happens to be played by a real life, deaf actress, which was something John Krasinski wanted, and who also directs the movie to make it, the character feel like more authentic, rather than having someone pretending to be play a deaf character. So in that sense, it makes it authentic. I mean, I would say I would recommend it to those that like, horror movies and all that other crazy stuff. I mean, for me, I don't think I'd probably see it again. I mean, but like I said, it's good for what it is. So I would just say check it out just to see what all that hype's about. But I'll just say I've seen better, but that's just my personal opinion. So I guess for those that may have seen it and have a different opinion about, feel free to share whatever comments and perspectives you had on the movie. I really appreciate to hear some feedback on it. All right, everyone. Thanks again for listening, and have a good night.